night here at Ottawa Comiccon for the Sunday. And I got my pass. Thank you so much to Darren, the Ottawa Toy Hunter, for letting me in. All right, let's see what we see here today. No way. The Four Elements. Lulu Dallas Multipass. Very nice.
I just want to make sure because Will did a lot of shopping already. We've already done a lot of shopping. Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey. Minion Wolverine.
It's actually driving me crazy.
I'm back in here about in the last few hours, last hour.
Wow, that's impressive. The Witch King. King of the Ring Wraiths.
Hey.
Vamos se crossfield Well, I got them all here today.
Those are all the ones you have left?
There, and I got a bunch down there.
Oh, rare. I display the ends.
Yep.
There we go. Here, Saber X, or is it X Saber?
X, Saber X.
Saber X, okay.
Maybe we should do that again, because I don't even know my own company's name.
Wow. Looks film quality to me. Yeah. I'm just shooting the Sabers. So, alright, I was going to show you your sign. Try to get your sign.
But then drop it.
Good Lord. Autographed by Editor-in-Chief, Jim Shooter. awesome. That's awesome. Wonderful, Jared. And that's a wrap for Sunday at Ottawa Comic-Con. I'd like to thank all the vendors, especially Darren for the pass to get in here. So thank you so much for that, Darren. And man, I had a lot of fun. I got to meet Denis Lawson. He even did a little video for me signing the autograph, and got a selfie as well. Got lots of selfies to show. My feet are tired, and some deodorants have failed, and it's time to go home. I'm too old for this. Who else did I meet today? Diana Lee Inosanto, yes, Bruce Lee's goddaughter, and of course Morgan Elsbeth from The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. And who else did I get? The Lou Diamond Phillips. I got his selfie as well, and said hi to many people, as many people as I could. But that's it. It's all a wrap. It's all done. Until next year, this is Neil. Can't wait. Peace. But wait, the video doesn't end there. No, I'm going to show off the pics, all the selfies that I got, or Kara and I both got. Kara was very excited to meet Mr. Billy Boyd, and Billy's awesome. He may be my favorite of the 4 Hobbit guests that were there, just because of his personality. He took a lot of photos. He grabbed my phone and he took like 22 photos. I'll show a few here with different expressions. So we definitely got our money's worth with the selfies with Billy Boyd, that's for sure. Fantastic dude. I loved him in Lord of the Rings, of course, as the fool Pippin who becomes guard of the Citadel. He actually saves Gandalf's life in Return of the King, doesn't he? Yes, he does. Those hobbits definitely prove their worth by the end of that trilogy. But yeah, no, Billy is fantastic. You know, Scottish guy, of course. My mom's from Glasgow, so maybe I'm a bit biased, but he is my favorite. And yeah, anytime Billy's at a con, I'll definitely come and see him. Giancarlo Esposito has been in so many things lately, it's hard to keep track. Obviously, he was Gustavo Fring on Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and he is Moff Gideon in The Mandalorian, and he's in Marvel now. He's in the new Captain America movie coming out, so that's going to be cool with Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk. Good Lord. But anyway, yeah. Should be great. Fantastic to see him there. He was there last year as well, but I was really happy. No complaints about repeat guests, especially when it's Mr. Esposito. He is a really great, outgoing person to talk to. Love his work, and this is a wonderful little photo that I will treasure forever. It's too bad she won't live, but then again, who does? Yeah, meeting Eddie was awesome. I've met him once before, a very long time ago in Toronto, but this time around I got the selfie with him, with Kara as well in the shot, and he's so great. I'm a big fan of Blade Runner, so I love his, Gaff character. I talked about how he was in one scene in Blade Runner 2049, and that was great to see him back. Of course, Miami Vice, Battlestar Galactica, Adama, come on, like so many great roles, and he's directed so many great things, like the movie American Me. He's directed many things. So great guy, great accomplished actor and director. Edward James Olmos, he's the best, so say we all. So, meeting Elijah Wood was very cool. He's a great, nice guy. However, just understandably, we couldn't really talk to him for long, right? It was literally like 30 seconds and we're out, because he had such a massive long lineup. He had the longest line at the whole con, and deservedly so, I would say, being Frodo and appearing in so many things. I mean, his career begins in the 80s. I remember him in Back to the Future too, right? In the Cafe 80s. I talked to him a little bit about some things. Kara mentioned how much she liked Dirk Gently show that's no longer on. And he thanked her for that, and I mentioned Alien Romulus because there's an actor he used to work with in Lord of the Rings that appears in Alien Romulus even though he's passed away, and I thought, what did you think about that? He said he didn't see the movie, but he already knew about the spoiler sort of thing, so I didn't spoil it for him. Thank goodness. But it was still like, do you know? I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, if you've seen Alien Romulus, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, Elijah Wood, cool dude, great taste in music, certainly, we talked a lot about early 2000s music too, while we could. So anyway, worth the wait. Denis Lawson, aka Wedge from 4 different Star Wars movies, was an awesome gentleman to meet. I was so happy that I got to chat with him on video as well. And Diana Lee Inosanto is also, of course, a Star Wars alum, and she's Morgan Elsbeth on Ahsoka, or at least she was. Character's killed off. She did one episode of The Mandalorian, and we talked about that a little bit. And she's really cool. She's also Bruce Lee's goddaughter. So, I mean, she grew up, learning all sorts of different kinds of kung fu, like wushu, Filipino kung fu, and things like that. She talked about. Yeah, she's really cool, and I really hope to see her in more big projects in the future. Lou Diamond Phillips. Yeah, he's awesome. I loved him in so many things, from La Bamba, Stand and Deliver, the Young Guns movies. I mean, he's done a lot of iconic roles and performances. I got a lot of time to talk with Lou Diamond Phillips. His lineups were never big, so I was really, really, really happy that I got to have like a good 10-minute conversation with him about so many things. One thing we talked about was his Young Guns character, Chavez, especially in Young Guns 2, which was such a brilliantly shot film. They did such a great job with the cinematography, the direction, the editing, the music. That movie's great. Young Guns 2 is definitely an underrated Western classic in my book. And we talked about how Chavez could have lived. We didn't see him die, really. He could have lived. But no, Lou is fantastic. We also talked about the Edmonton Oilers, of course, playing La Bamba after every victory. So so he's obviously on board with that. And yeah, great guy to meet. Now, in terms of a few actor guests that I met but didn't get anything from them because I didn't really have the cash, but I did have the time. So I met Robert Patrick because I knew I had to meet Robert Patrick. I had to tell him how good he was in that one episode of The Walking Dead. He had a dual role, technically, although one role was most of the episode, with Aaron and Father Gabriel. Wonderful, wonderful episode of The Walking Dead. Some people don't even remember it because it was just a one-off, but I encourage you to go seek it out and watch just even that one episode, because he's just brilliantly intense. He's got that great look. No wonder he was cast as the T-1000. And Summer Glau, I got to speak to her again, mainly because I got an autograph for my buddy Daniel, and she was very cool, very sweet. The first time I met her in 2010 in Toronto, she was kind of nervous. She was kind of blown away by how many people were in line for her because of Firefly and the Terminator show and everything. So yeah, fantastic though. I was really happy for her, and really great to see her all these years later. It's been 14 years since I last saw Summer, so wonderful to see her again. Mary McDonnell, of course, was President Roslyn on Battlestar Galactica. She was also in Dances with Wolves, and she's so many things. I don't want to get into. Donnie Darko is one thing that she was in. And Kara got to talk to her quite a bit. She got her DVD autographed. Mary signed all over the DVD, which is fantastic. They talked a lot about, like your the lines from the movies and things like that. I talked about how many actors that I've met from that movie as well, including interviewing James Duvall once upon a time. But Mary was really cool. I talked to her about, Battlestar fans and how they go up to her and say, "Hey, how the frack are you?" And things like that. And I even did that to her once, and then I went, "Oh God, so silly." And she went, "Nah, pretty fracking good, no worries." She's really classy, really nice lady. Olympic gold medalist and former WWE champion Kurt Angle. This is the man that won the gold medal in the '96 Atlanta Games with a broken freaking neck. Yes, and I got to meet him. It's true. It's damn true. Yes, and I got to meet him with Kara, who had no idea who he was because she's not a wrestling fan. I'm the wrestling fan, so I got to explain it all in front of Kurt and tell her his whole career, basically, and go, "This guy did this, and he had this match, and this match," So anyway, yeah, no, Kurt was really cool. He didn't talk much. I think he was in a bit of pain. I think he was on some medication for that. And that's professional athletes, they go through that. But he's really cool, and he's an absolute legend, definitely one of the greatest of all time. I just went off about how impressive he was on the microphone. Like, we knew he could wrestle, but to be that good on the microphone was not expected. You don't expect, quote unquote, real, like amateur athletes, Olympic athletes to be great actors, but he was fantastic. So great to meet Kurt. And I also got to meet another wrestling legend, Devon Dudley, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, definitely the Dudley Boys, along with Bubba Ray, ECW, WWE. It's great talking to Devon. He had a decent amount of people there in line for him, so that was great to see. All right, so now to talk about the evening at the Shire, the night at the Shire, with the four hobbits. So Sean, Dom, Elijah, and Billy, and it was very good in terms of, what the guests brought to the event. They bring their sharp wit. These guys are really funny. They're big, nerds for everything, just like we are. They're just like us. However, when you have four guests, and we have questions, people ask one question of all four guests, then each guest is going to answer, and it's going to eat up a lot of time. So there was a time issue with this thing where they just kept eating too much time when they didn't have to. The Canadian trivia, I understood. You got two American actors, one English actor, and one Scottish actor, and you want to talk about Canada, because we're in Canada, we're in the capital, so we want to talk about that. I understand that, but I just thought it went way too long. And I just had the one question. I was going to ask Dom about the spider. I was only going to ask Dom, to save time, but it didn't work out. It didn't get to me. The guy dressed as Legolas in front of me was also cut off, and that was too bad because he had a fantastic outfit and wig and everything going on. Nice bow. Oh well, nothing's perfect. This kind of a thing was. It was, it was going to go the way it's going to go. My question was, hey, we paid for this. We paid good money to come in here, and now we don't get to ask the question. Oh, well, I can't be too disappointed considering all the things I got to do over the weekend. But that evening was too bad. It should have been 2 hours long, and then more questions could have been asked. They could have cut down the Canadian trivia, but you know what? Life ain't perfect. They were all awesome. They were fantastic. Dom is extremely competitive at games, and Sean knows the most about Canada for sure, I'd say. Sean is probably the most like me out of the four actors. Elijah's great with, he's got great music tastes, and certainly Billy might be the most entertaining out of the four. Yeah, I'm kind of biased towards Billy. He's my favorite Hobbit. What can I say? Anyway, so it was a great evening. Kara had a fantastic time. Everybody laughed. Everybody had a wonderful time, I just wish it was a little longer, a little better paced, of course, but hey, that's the way she goes. I do got to say hats off to Ottawa Comiccon for booking these guests in the first place. I assume maybe they had to charge to get in because that was the only way they could book them. They didn't afford their prices, right? So the price to book them here in Ottawa, fly them out and everything. So perhaps it was very expensive and that's why they charged as opposed to a regular panel. It was also much more special than your typical normal panel. So good time. All right, back home now, and time to show off the haul. So first I'm showing off the pamphlet here, featuring the main guests of honor, Dom, Sean, Elijah, and Billy. And it's a shame I didn't get to meet Dom. I've met Sean a couple of times in the past, so I didn't have the time to say hi to him there, but still great meeting two of them. And here's a little shot of a lot of the other guests that we saw. Lana Parrilla, for example, we saw her panel, but we didn't meet her. Dante Basco and Chad Coleman were there. There was too many guests to meet, but we did well. We met a lot of them, certainly, and a lot of selfies, as you know, and yeah, so it was a great lineup. So at the Night of the Shire, we had these little stickers from the upcoming anime film War of the Rohirrim sitting on our chairs, so that's cool. We all got one. And Heiko's Hot Sauce, the Mustard Menace. So if you saw the Saturday video, I bought my favorite, of course. And some comics. It wouldn't be Comic-Con if I didn't buy a few comics. So I bought a handful here, as you can see, 7 comics. I think they're all from the 80s, more or less. And yeah, some classic stuff, including classic X-Men, and old Marvel Comics Presents, 2 Daredevils and a Transformer. Let's take a look at Daredevil 237 and 238 here. So the first one has Claw, and the second one has Sabretooth, which was a tie-in to the Mutant Massacre storyline of 1986. So I had to get that book because I don't think I've ever owned it before. And a very cool cover. And of course, the Transformers here. So this is an early issue that I actually have in Comic Digest form, but I thought I would buy this issue 13 in full form. Why not? May start collecting those Transformers books. They're awesome. And Shark Bait. Wolverine fighting a shark. I don't know, this was a pretty cheap comic. I just grabbed it for fun. I like the cover. And X-Men Classic. So these are recreations of classic X-Men stories. And they would also include a bonus story, often at the end, too. I don't know if they did that throughout the whole series or just early on, but very cool stuff. We've got Storm here electrocuting Doctor Doom and Wolverine. I just went, I don't remember that at all, but that's why I had to have this issue, so yeah, it's a good one, I think. A good cover anyway. And we've got Shadowcat and guest starring Spider-Woman here as well, so I just got those because they were all in sequence. And I've got an advertisement here as well. Might as well show it off. I mean, give all the free promotion that I can, I guess. Hey, but yeah, good deals in comic books. There were so many comic vendors there. I'm partial to Kaboom Comics myself, but they were all great. And Wedge, Dennis Lawson, Rogue 3. Of course, he was also promoted to Red Leader by Return of the Jedi. But what a nice gentleman Dennis Lawson is. His nephew is Ewan McGregor. Yes, it's true. No, it's just really great to have met Wedge. Local Hero is a movie I have to seek out and find on DVD. There's his autograph. He didn't personalize it. He didn't say to Neil, which may be like a standard thing for Star Wars actors. I don't know, but I'm happy. And I got an 8x10 for my buddy Daniel Coper here from Summerglow, from Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles. And it says in the top corner here, for Daniel, I called 9mm Summerglow. So that was one of her lines in the show, as she was a Terminator, alongside Lena Headey, who was, before she was Queen Cersei, she was Sarah Connor. And that's all, folks. So here's a nice mix of things that I got at the con, just to end it. And, wow, my feet are really tired, my back is sore, I'm too old for this, I may be retiring from big cons. I can't even travel, I can't even board a plane, I'm in so much physical discomfort at times, but yeah, this was a blast. Obviously, Ottawa's my hometown, it's near where I live, so very happy to get to go, and very happy it was the biggest and best one yet, and I can't wait till next year. Alright guys, peace.